Happened last week here against Green Bay. He caught fire, the team got hot, and they won it in overtime.
And you know, ironically, it might actually play to their advantage. If it gets them back to a running game and Deuce Staley does get hot here in the second half, it will set up things for the passing game. And it's not really something that typically you see out of the Eagles, a real focused effort on the running game.
It's all on the ground. This time it's Buchalter. You got two.
Well, and the other part of that, Joe, is if there's anybody who can play through an injury, I mean, it's Donovan McNabb. We've seen that over the years. Think back to last year when he broke his leg, and yet he continued to play against Arizona through the 4 touchdown passes, and what he has endured through the early part of this season with the various injuries that he's had. He's accustomed to playing through some pain. You just wonder how much the rib injury will affect him throwing the football.
And I think you can see the pain in his eyes. I think that just looking at him, he just doesn't look like the same vivacious person that you typically see on the field.
Blitz out of the backfield. Nice catch. Staley down the sideline. First down inside the 35, knocked down at the 34.
And this is what Carolina just has not had an answer yet. They bring linebacker pressure again inside. You're going to see these guys go, and nobody accounts. You're going to see Dan Morgan. He's trying to get over to cover Deuce Staley. He thinks Deuce Staley is going to stay in and block because they're bringing the linebackers. He does not. In essence, it was a hot route to Deuce Staley, and Dan Morgan couldn't get over there to cover him.
But you come back after running the ball 3 straight times, and then the play action, then some of the passing game starts to work, and Deuce Staley with another huge play.
Handoff, Buchalter. Cramming it right at the Carolina defense, a gain of 9.
And a good job there by Todd Pinkston on the outside, blocking Ricky Manning, which allowed him to get up inside of that block and pick up some key yards. And Todd Pinkston has been much maligned throughout this season. He's played very well here as of late, but you see he's making key contributions in the running game as well.
And they're running right behind John Runyon. John Runyon, a huge guy against Julius Peppers. And watching the film of the first game between these two, I thought Runyon wore him out pretty good.
Buchalter strings it out, has a first down.
And we've seen Philadelphia be able to get to the outside a few times now. Mike Rucker, the defensive end to that side, he's got contained. He's got to get up the field and make sure that he keeps everything to his inside. But Trey Thomas is able to get out and hook him. And then, of course, you've got John Ritchie, the lead blocker. But they're able to get on the corners right now. That's got to be a concern for Carolina.
Well, you get the wide receivers cracking back on the outside and creating that edge.
Now they're working on Freddie Mitchell. Buchalter. A nice gain on first down of 5 yards. Peppers on the tackle.
Well, that's a tremendous running play there, because what you're seeing is once you establish the outside presence, and that time they come with an outside running look again, and then you cut back behind it, you get those fast linebackers, Dan Morgan, Will Witherspoon, and those guys really flowing to the ball. Then you cut back behind it, some nice running lanes.
McNabb's going to get pounded. Throws it away, and McNabb was hit and hit hard by Minter. The whole stadium was watching that thing develop, held their breath as McNabb took the shot.
Yeah, and you're going to see Todd Pinkston, Ricky Manning, he gets physical with him, which is the MO coming into this game. He throws him on the ground, and that's who Donovan McNabb was looking to get the ball to on the rollout to his right side.
I'll tell you, Ricky Manning, for a rookie, understands this game. In the playoffs, that was holding. There's no question about it. He grabbed Pinkston's jersey and slung him to the ground, but in the playoffs, typically you don't get those calls like that. So Manning out there taking full advantage and beating up these receivers.
And we saw how slow Donovan McNabb was to get off the ground.
On third down, there's Manning again, another pick. Some miscommunication there with Pinkston. And Manning gets his second of the night.
Well, there's no question that Ricky Manning has a knack for being around the football. He's playing him inside technique, leverage. And I don't know what Pinkston is doing.
Terrible.
Obvious miscommunication right there between Donovan McNabb and Todd Pinkston.
7-3 Carolina.
Nobody does it like Southwest Airlines. We always have low fares, even at the last minute.
You are now free to move about the country.
If you're just joining us, the referee bolted into the locker room some 15 minutes ago.
Oh, he's back.
I apologize for the delay. Due to the complexity of the penalty, I had to leave the field to consult an official rule book. After a thorough reading of the rules, I have determined that the play stands as called. Let's restart the clock.
Oh, finally, that took forever. Whoa, what's that? That looks like a flag nobody's going to be picking up.
I think it's two-ply.
The meeting's at 8. We got 5 minutes to get there. Go around this guy. He's not even moving.
With the class-leading 250 horsepower V6 engine, the Saturn Vue can get you to the meeting on time. Unless you turn on the 6-speaker stereo. Get 0% APR financing for 5 years on most new 2004 Saturn Vue models. See your retailer for details.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
It really looked like the Philadelphia Eagles at the start of the second half were coming out, making a statement. 9 plays, 51 yards. It ends with another Ricky Manning interception. His third of the postseason. Second tonight. First down, Carolina. They hand the ball off. Out across the 20 is Davis. A nice gain on first down of 6 yards.
Todd Pinkston, the unpardonable sin right here. When you have a slant on, you have to stay that route no matter what. When he jumps back out to the outside, Ricky Manning with an easy pick, that is simply awful by a professional wide receiver.
No question, Donovan McNabb thought he was going to run the slant route. It appeared that Todd Pinkston was running a slant and go.
No excuses, you blew it.
Second down and 3. Tosses to Davis, and he runs ahead for a first down to the 29.
And I thought it was interesting, John Fox's remarks coming out at halftime saying that we're throwing the ball too much. We need to get back to running the ball. They only threw it 11 times in the first half.
Maybe that's too much for him.
Well, and they ran it 16 times. I mean, clearly they were running the ball much more than what they were throwing the football. But here they come out on this possession. They're running the ball and picking up yards.
Quick throw, setting up a wide receiver screen for Smith. Pro Bowler as a rookie, as a punt returner. Did as much as he could, got 3.
And I think, you know, when you talk about Steve Smith with this team and what he's done all season long, not only has he made big plays, but he's made big plays at big moments in games. And it certainly has been true the last couple of weeks. I mean, his yards per catch average is astronomical. He's created a lot of plays himself. And so on a play like that, you're just trying to get the ball into his hands as much as you can and see what his athletic ability will allow you to do.
69-yard catch for a touchdown to win it in double overtime last week at St. Louis. 2nd and 7 to Sean Foster. Already has a fumble in this game, but his teammate Jermaine Wiggins picked it up that time. Here he hangs on for a 3-yard pickup.
Well, one thing that I do like that Carolina has done, of course, we talked about the injury of Stephen Davis and what he's gone through this week, but they've done a nice job of mixing in Deshaun Foster along with Stephen Davis and giving him necessary breaks over there on the sidelines. They haven't overloaded him, and you've got to believe that they're holding a little bit back in case they have to ride their horse in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 3.
Inside handoff to Hoover. Didn't get it. 4th down. Ike Reese, their top special teams player, on the top special teams team in the NFL, having to start in place of Carlos Emmons, made the stop.
And the Panthers love that little cutback type run, and that time they did a run blitz with Mark Semino. He jammed up the hole and allowed Reese to come over and make the play.
I think Carolina and their linebacker Ryan Allen is asking for a measurement, and they're going to get it. They already have 4th down on the box. And it's 4th down. Andy Reid, head coach. Brad Childress, offensive coordinator. And I'm sure half their thoughts are with the health of Donovan McNabb and how much they can ask him to do. He has been pasted the last 2 weekends. First by Green Bay, and now again here tonight by Carolina. Nearly blocked, line drive punt into the wind. And it's down by Hoover out at the 36. Jake Delhomme just pleading his case for a measurement. It was short. Ike Reese making a play to stop Carolina. Philly has it down 4.
Spread your wings. The Cadillac SRX Performance Utility. Breakthrough.
Meanwhile, on the 4th floor.
When?
20 minutes ago.
An internet worm.
And a sneaky one, too. Came from the inside.
But the guys from IT said we're safe.
It was caught by the network, automatically. They say we're fine.
How does something like that get in here?
Hey, Daddy, I downloaded a new game on your computer. It's really cool.
Protecting networks and everyone around them. This is the power of the network. Now.
Whoa. Digital widescreen high-definition TVs with digital auto convergence and HD component video inputs, plus high-speed velocity scan modulation. Don't touch.
Hey guys, check out the game in high def.
Sweet. Now pay no interest for 2 years or get 10% off all TVs $299 and up. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
This family's future son-in-law,
and we are getting married in 3 days,
is going to become their worst nightmare.
You haven't seen her naked yet, but I hope you will.
Thanks to Fox, my big, fat, obnoxious fiancé.
Got a naked dance for Randy. People say I got a nice butt.
The con begins after American Idol tomorrow on Fox.
The crowd has been quieted, say taken out, but quieted by the play of the Carolina Panthers and the 2 interceptions. After a 9-play, 51-yard drive to start the second half, movement along the line. We understand that Julius Peppers is out and on the sideline, and we'll try to get a report as to why.
Ball start. 72 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, and the big thing right now, Joe, is that the Eagles have just got to take a deep breath and relax. I mean, they had a nice drive on that last possession, moving the football down the field, but these interceptions, you just got to worry about this football team beginning to panic a little bit out here on the field.
Tough to take a deep breath if you're Donovan McNabb with bad ribs. A lot of short breaths. Buchalter, patient, but nothing really opened up, and a gain of only 3. Nice play by Deion Grant, the free safety coming up. The
Tell you, that was a big stop that last time, though, by the Philadelphia Eagles defense. You get a turnover down there, real momentum changer, and they get the ball right back for their offense. Remember in the game last week against the Packers, they were down 14-0, and essentially the Eagles defense held the Packers at just 3 points essentially for the last 3 quarters of that ball game. So we'll see if that one turns it.
Second down and 13, and the pass to the sideline is broken up, and it was Howard there, stride for stride with James Thrash. Third down and long coming up.
And really a nice job there by Reggie Howard, and really clear across the board. I mean, again, these DBs for Carolina continue to challenge the wide receivers. Ricky Manning there on the outside against Todd Pinkston, and Donovan McNabb on that play had some time finally to try to find a wide receiver, but they are coming up at the line of scrimmage. They're pressing these wideouts, and they are mauling them coming off the ball. And so far, nobody's been able to shake them.
So much for the Carolina Panthers not having a good secondary. They're killing the Eagles right now.
Third down and 13. McNabb guns it. It's in the air, and it's Manning again. His third of the night. Ricky Manning is down to the 37-yard line.
Man, oh man, did Mike Minter lay a hit and cause that one. Manning was the beneficiary of it, but it was Mike Minter with a shot to James Thrash.
Ricky Manning Jr. becoming Ricky Manning the third, his third of the night.
I got customers coming in from 4 corners of the world. To them, this is the bank of US of A. These are self-made individuals in this neighborhood. We understand that and what that means. They have saved sizable amounts of money that they entrust to us, and they come to us every day for financial advice. Some of these businesses are third generation. Most of them definitely second generation. As any merchant or shop owner, the first bank that would pop up would be Bank of America. I'm Hutchins Hung. I'm a banker, and I'm proud to be part of Bank of America. We're not too big of a bank, even to the smallest business. We still offer them the most sophisticated banking there is in this world. We're proud to be the cornerstone of the neighborhood. So when the neighborhood succeeds, Bank of America succeeds. I always have my breakfast here. Try the rice cake. It's the best in the city.
Bank of America. Higher standards.
There's glory for the individuals who come together for a common goal. You tame the elusive beast of time and space, bringing together offices from every corner of the globe, working in real time, as if shoulder to shoulder. You have the new Microsoft Office system. Go team.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Bank of America, higher standards. By Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 38. By Cadillac, bold vehicles defying convention. And by Microsoft, your potential, our passion.
Manning, 3 interceptions. Ty Law for New England, 3 interceptions on Peyton Manning. And the 24-14 AFC Championship game. The winner of this game moves on to meet the Patriots. Toss to Foster. Big pickup on first down as Deshaun Foster got 8. Well, what a week I'm having. The Saturday evening effort at the end of the first overtime, and then in this game. 1, 2. And this one fell into his lap.
And remember, he wouldn't even have been in the game but for an injury to Terry Cousin. But he played so well when he was in there, they basically left him in as a starter. And boy, has that been the right decision.
Foster changes hands, hanging on to the football as he is knocked out just inches shy of the 20 with a first down. Carrying the ball on the outside after breaking through the line just to protect it a little more.
Well, that's what you got to do. He starts up inside, and then the ball's in his right hand. He moves it to his left side, the outside arm, to protect it. He already had 1 fumble earlier in the game, making sure that it doesn't happen again. Going back to Ricky Manning, had a chance to visit with him before the game, and he said, we're going after these wide receivers. We're going to challenge them. We're going after them, and they certainly have today.
Foster and Davis out. Smart gets it. Rod Smart bouncing it outside. Even he on first down gets 5. You made the reference earlier, just so people know what we're talking about. He hate me. That was what was on his jersey as the world experimented with the XFL. The one-year experiment, and now Rod Smart has had a pretty good year on special teams for Carolina. 2nd down and 5. Jump ball. End zone. Penalty flag. Smith was there. There was a lot of contact. And it will be pass interference against Philadelphia.
Good call, too. Lito Shepherd with his hands all over Steve Smith going down the field. Didn't get his head turned around.
Pass interference. 26 defense. Automatic. First down.
Well, Philadelphia tries locking up on the outside with Lito Shepherd, and it's an underthrown ball again, Chris. They had an opportunity, if it was in the corner, to maybe come down with the catch, but because it is underthrown, that is the toughest thing for a defensive back to try to play. Now, Lito Shepherd never got his head turned back around to locate the football.
Matt Willig, an extra tackle, checks in. He is eligible, as is Shane Burton. Toss to Foster. Foster's fighting for the touchdown. What an effort. It looked like he was stopped 3 different times, and the second-year player who missed all of last year after tearing his left knee would not quit.
And how many times do we hear people draw comparisons with him and Stephen Davis and say Stephen Davis is the guy, the power runner. Deshaun Foster is the one who wants to bounce it to the outside. Deshaun Foster here definitely getting out on the edge, but look at the power and explosion that he shows here, carrying 2, 3, 4 guys with him to get the ball in the end zone.
But that's a pathetic effort by the Eagles. I mean, that's 4 guys with their arms and their shoulder pads and their helmets all over him, and they can't get him on the ground. That was pathetic.
4:11 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Casey makes it 14-3. The Carolina Panthers playing their game. Not surprised to be here. The Philadelphia Eagles and their fans have to think, uh-oh, is it going to be 3 in a row? The reaction by Ricky Manning. It's 14-3, Carolina.
$16 million people will come to WebMD this month. Some will learn about a condition or a diagnosis. Others will chat with experts. Many will simply decide when to visit a doctor. We'll help them all to navigate WebMD's wealth of medically reviewed information to find exactly what they need. Americans may have thousands of different questions about their health, but now they have a single place to find the answers.
Cialis is here. Are you ready? Introducing Cialis. Ask your doctor if a free sample of Cialis is right for you. New Cialis. Cialis is here. Are you ready?
Cracked cranium, $10 copay.
Aye, aye. Aye, aye. Aye, aye.
Bruised cornea, $10 copay.
Okay.
Dislocated jaw, fractured wrist, mild concussion, $10 copay. No hurt feelings.
I'm poisoned.
Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted by optometrists, neurologists, and orthopedists.
Ricky Manning, a 5'8" corner. They drafted him thinking he would be a very solid number 3 corner. He has stepped into the starting lineup, taking the place of Terry Cousin, and he may win defensively a championship for the Carolina Panthers with what he did a week ago in St. Louis. 3 interceptions here tonight, and it's more than being in the right place at the right time. He's fought for a couple of those picks. And then Deshaun Foster good enough to get it into the end zone. And now Manning, just to complete his long night here in Philadelphia, is again going to hold as the wind is knocking the ball off the tee. John Casey.
Well, one of the reasons why Ricky Manning was able to keep his job when Terry Cousins got hurt was because he showed an ability to make plays around the football, and never was that more true than in these last 2 games.
Rash. Philly should end up with good field position. Out of bounds at the 38. Nothing says hard-nosed fighting January football like the music of James Taylor. Trying to turn this night into a trip to Houston, leading 14-3.
And you see the sunshine.
Did we make a beer with half the carbs of Bud Light taste good? No. We made it taste great. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
One day you wake up and find a few hairs on your pillow. Next day, they're dribbling your head down the court.
Get new V for Men thickening shampoo for up to 50% thicker looking hair for better scalp coverage. New V for Men by L'Oreal Paris.
Rich Eisen hosts NFL Total Access.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American Revolution.
Well, Donovan McNabb may be hurting, but still able to laugh and have a little fun with a former teammate. The pressure is now squarely on his shoulders to start making plays.
14-3 Carolina. 4-man rush out of the backfield. Buckhalter. Out across the 41. Again, it's Pam Oliver.
Hey, Joe, I think the urgency of this matter is starting to kick in for Philadelphia. Their emotional leader, Brian Dawkins, just went down the line to a bunch of guys seated on the bench. He got in their faces, pointed his finger, and said, "Let's go, let's go, let's go," to about a half dozen guys. Joe?
Well, right now he is on the sideline hoping that his offense, led by Donovan McNabb, same team that trailed at 1 point last week, 14-3, can get it going. 2nd down and 7. Staley, good pressure with that front 4, and Staley just wouldn't go down. Out to the 46, a gain of 5. And you're right, Chris, nobody runs with any more heart than number 22, Deuce Staley.
And they really slanted right into that play. It was a perfect call defensively. Everybody was moving that way at the snap of the ball. And somehow Deuce just kept spinning in 360 and just kept going and made something out of absolutely nothing. But the one thing I am a little surprised, though, we haven't seen more out of some of the tight ends for the Philadelphia Eagles. Last week they were a major factor in getting Donovan McNabb on track, and so far today, not many balls thrown their way.
On 3rd down, McNabb over the middle, another drop, and there's your tight end. It's Chad Lewis.
Well, maybe
penalty flag comes in at the end of the play.
Maybe that's why they don't throw to him.
It's a hold against Philadelphia. That'll bring up 4th down.
Holding. 72 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
I know we talked about it coming in, Joe. You just wonder how a team's going to respond like Philadelphia when they get behind, when they have pressure. We see Trey Thomas as he holds Mike Rucker coming around the edge. But this team right now, we saw Brian Dawkins on the sidelines trying to get the team motivated, but clearly they are facing a great deal of pressure now.
Dirk Johnson on to punt. Good punt. No doubt this is with the wind as we play the rest of this second half. Everything the Eagles can do, but it's still into the end zone, and Carolina will have it at their own 20. It's all on the shoulders of Donovan McNabb. A frustrating night so far. A quarter plus left. 14-3 Panthers.
Boo.
I knew it. You've been in there since I was 6.
Prove it.
I'll prove it. How about a picture?
You know that camera phone thing's too complicated. Just shut the door and we'll get back to our regular routine.
Here he is.
Here.
Oh.
Sprint made picture mail right. It's easy to take and send pictures anywhere on their complete wireless network because they build it from the ground up. Mystery solved.
Now get 2 PCS Vision picture phones for $149.98. PCS from Sprint.
Every Sunday, these bold warriors meet in a quest for glory. Proud gladiators whose game is equal parts preparation and passion. When men become myths and moments become legend. The game is tailgating. The cola is Pepsi. It's the cola.
I try to manage risk by avoiding danger.
For anyone who likes to play it safe. This winter, life's about to get interesting. Ben Stiller, Jennifer Aniston, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Deborah Messing, Hank Azaria, and Alec Baldwin.
Good things.
Along Came Polly, rated PG-13, now playing.
Sunday, February 1st, college football's ultimate skills competition returns to Fox. The Capital One College Football All-Star Challenge with Heisman Trophy finalist Chris Perry and some of college's top players going head-to-head. Find out who has what it takes to be named one of the most coveted lists in all of sports. As Howie Long announces his Tough Guys, presented by the new Ford F-150. It all begins Sunday, February 1st at 12 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific here on Fox. The offensive line is not allowed a sack today. Carolina defense has racked up 4. They stay on the ground and they give it to Stephen Davis. Rayburn is in on the stop and Davis is out to the 24.
You know, this offensive line really has, Joe, done a tremendous job, not only in this ball game but all season long, and they've got a couple different players, you know, from where they were a year ago. Of course, Geno James, who was the annual backup, he comes in at left guard and they draft Jordan Gross, but these guys are extremely athletic. And Mike Mazur, their offensive line coach, has done a tremendous job of getting this team to play as a unit. And they're having another big game here.
They deserve the credit. 26 sacks allowed, over 2,000 rushing yards this season. Second down. Davis just fell down. We have gone too long, guys, without talking about the job John Fox has done. I mean, this was a franchise that 2 years ago was 1-15. They were completely flat. They had nothing going. His first year, they're 7-9, and this year, 11-5, and with a lead in the NFC Championship game.
And the thing that he did more than anything else was he rebuilt a defense that was horrendous, turned them into the #2 defense in football, then came back this year and rebuilt the offense with Jake Delhomme and Stephen Davis and drafting Jordan Gross. Amazing the turnaround in just 2 years.
Third down and 6. Blitz. Fourth down. Taylor was coming on a blitz and Delhomme just basically threw it away.
Yeah, good decision there by Jake Delhomme of recognizing there was nothing there. He was getting pressure Don't take a chance backed up in your own side of the field. Just throw it away. A punt is not a bad thing.
And Ike Reese is playing a tremendous game. He read that one all the way, had the coverage on the outside, and gave Jake nowhere to throw the football.
Reno Mahe waiting for the punt from Sauerbrunn into the wind. It's a line drive, and Reno will let her roll. Out of bounds across the 35. They'll mark it at the 37. And this crowd is trying somehow to get behind their offense. Teams that have lost 3 straight conference championship games. Late 60s with the Raiders. 73, 74, 75 for the Raiders. 74, 75, 76 for the Rams. 80, 81, 82 for the Dallas Cowboys.
But you know, I've seen an awfully lot of magic out of this Philadelphia Eagles team. We saw it in Monday night in Green Bay. We saw it in the playoff game last week. They were down 14-0. Donovan McNabb, bad rib or not, is not finished.
Under a minute to go, third quarter. Buchalter cuts it up to the 40. Donovan McNabb missing 6 games last year with a broken fibula. Coming back, getting into the NFC Championship game. And all that's remembered from that game in that 27-10 loss was the 92-yard interception return for a touchdown by Rondé Barber. This year he injured his thumb, played for a month with a wrap on that thumb, and when he took that wrap off October 26th against the Jets, his numbers in this offense jumped. Second and 7. McNabb throws behind Thrash.
Wow. I think these receivers are shook up. They just are not playing very aggressively at all. Remember, it was Thrash that took the huge hit from Mike Minter, and they just aren't making very bold moves towards the football.
Well, you see the throw, Chris. It wasn't a real good throw. Donovan had to slide in the pocket. Thrash expecting the ball out in front. Donovan throwing it behind him. But right now, I think there's no question that whatever injury he has suffered to his ribs, it is affecting him in the pocket, both handing the ball off as well as getting comfortable within it to make the throws.
Blitz coming. McNabb all day. Over the middle, incomplete. Staley, the intended receiver, and again McNabb ends up on his back. Gerard Cooper, an outstanding special teams player, is the one on top.
Well, he got hit again. He got put on his back after this play, and you can tell he's just not comfortable with what he's seeing right now. And then he takes the hit right to the ribs. You see him slowly get up. There's no question that it's affected him, but Donovan, in spite of that, he's just not been able to get comfortable. He's not been able to see what the defense is doing to him and then deliver passes.
But you know, Troy, how long was he back there? He was back there 5 or 6 seconds, and still nobody open down the field.
Ugly punt from Dirk Johnson that will sport out of bounds at the 27. It took forever for McNabb to get off the field after another failed attempt. The defense for Carolina has been outstanding, laying the lumber to these Philadelphia Eagles. We're through 3 quarters, and it's 14-3 Carolina.
On Fox.
With a power rear door and an elegant interior, the Lexus RX is luxury at your fingertips. See your Houston area Lexus dealer.
Introducing the Motorola V600. Great. With Bluetooth wireless headset. It has a high-resolution integrated camera, so you can take photos and send them with perfect clarity. Got it. The Motorola V600 for crisp, clear pictures you can take, send, and of course, delete. To register, go to Motorola.com/offers.
Are you ready to open a totally new online experience? The all-new Roadrunner High-Speed Online, now faster than ever, with local updates all day. Customize your favorite features, all at speeds up to 70 times faster than dial-up. Plus, get the latest antivirus and firewall protection. So go ahead, kick the internet wide open.
Call Time Warner Cable today for Roadrunner High-Speed Online. 1-800-ROADRUNNER. Call now.
With Roadrunner, your world is always on.
Fox 26 Investigates is news that works for you.
14-3 after 3 quarters of play in Philadelphia. Carolina on top, and you have to wonder how much more they will go with Donovan McNabb. Just in so much pain, and Detmer has been warming up during the entire break. That might be all for Donovan McNabb. Who knows, but he certainly hasn't been effective.
Yeah, he went over and he talked to Donovan McNabb, and he got the word and basically ran over to start getting loose. And I think that last shot has finally finished Donovan McNabb. And this is just a whooping so far. Now, there's no other way to put it. The Carolina Panthers just laying the lumber to the Philadelphia Eagles, their receivers, their quarterback, physically beating this team up.
Deshaun Foster hit by Taylor, gets away. Foster's had another good game on the heels of picking up the slack for the injured Stephen Davis a week ago. And we talked about John Fox and the job that he's done here. I think you can clearly say coming into the season, most people pick Carolina to end up last in their division. You heard so much about Tampa, even New Orleans, obviously Atlanta with Vic before he went down, and now here's Carolina 1 quarter away from it all.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I think even after they beat St. Louis last week, coming into this game, there's a lot of people who have not given them their due and thinking that they could come in here and win this ball game. But even if they go with Koy Detmer, these wide receivers for Philadelphia are going to have to start getting off the jam.
And there's Steve Smith doing what the Eagle receivers have not done. Ball pops out. That's a fumble. And Philadelphia has it.
Well, for all the fighting that this team has done, and Steve Smith does with the ball, that time he fights a little too long, and the ball gets ripped out of his hands. It was a great route. He got off the jam, runs a slant, makes about 4 people miss going across the field. And then just by fighting for a little bit of extra yardage, and his knee could have been down on that one, Troy. It was pretty close.
Challenge flag.
It's out. They just threw the red flag out.
So John Fox wants Bernie Kukar to take another look.
The question is, though, Chris, it looked like the ball may have been coming out prior to his knee going to the ground, and if that is the case, then it will be ruled a fumble. Can't see there exactly where the ball.
Well, Carolina is challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble.
Certainly looked like his left knee was down. He was basically walking on his knees as that ball was still in his left arm.
Yeah, I know what Troy was saying, though. If it's starting to move before the knee hits, see, the elbow is in there now, but it's not out, but it is moving a little bit. Now it's just hard to tell when that knee's down. I think that is down by contact. Boy, another break for the Carolina Panthers, as if they needed something else to go their way today. I think they're going to get the ball back again.
I'm sure John Fox by now has word from above that they've got a better than average chance of getting that call on the field overturned.
And he just about didn't get the flag out in time to challenge it. Philadelphia getting out onto the field, hustling onto the field, trying to get the ball snapped to keep them from getting the ball, or keeping them from getting a chance to challenge the call.
And Koy Detmer is on the field, so if it's the Philadelphia Eagles ball, then he will be the quarterback when they come back. And you have to remember what Koy Detmer did in really his only game last year. Remember coming in, I think it was a Monday night game against San Francisco, a game the Eagles absolutely had to win, and he was brilliant. He was as good as any quarterback we had seen that season, and then ended up injuring his elbow, dislocating his elbow late in that game.
They show the replay of it on the big screen, the scoreboard here at Lincoln Financial Field, and even these fans can't cheer for it. Getting a real good look of that left knee being down, and Smith still having possession of the football. Now this is either a first down for Carolina at their own 46, or if the call stands, it's first down for the Eagles at the Carolina 43. And we'll find out here in a couple of seconds.
After reviewing the play, the runner's knee was down by contact. First down, Carolina at the 45-yard line.
You think these Philadelphia fans like instant replay?
No, not at the moment.
They can't even argue too much.
So it's first down, 14:06 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the ball is up. They put it at the 45. We had it at the 46. Either way, great field position for Carolina with a fresh set of downs.
And clearly turnovers, the story of this one so far, as the Panthers have done all season, or at least all through the playoffs, not turning the ball over has been the difference.
Handoff is to Foster. He has a fumble tonight, but the Panthers recovered it. The Eagles have been plus 11 in the turnover ratio the last 15 games, but tonight 3 Eagles turnovers on the interceptions by Manning, and none so far for Carolina.
Yeah, then that's what Carolina has done in these playoff games. They've done a great job. They came into the playoffs with a -5 turnover ratio in the regular season. They were +4 coming into this game, so they've done a very nice job protecting the ball and creating turnovers, and that's why they've been able to win games.
It's all set up for Carolina. They've got the 2-score lead. They've got good field position, and they've got the running game against an Eagles team that struggles defending the run. Davis is 2 yards shy of the first down.
And I'm a little surprised right now, Chris, that the Eagles are not coming with any kind of pressure. I know that they're expecting them to run the football, but at the same time, you got to start trying to force the issue a little bit, try to wreak a little bit of havoc in the backfield, create some turnovers. But right now, if you continue to let Carolina just methodically drive the football, you're going to have a hard time stopping them.
I think they're a little bit afraid of their outside running game. That's where they really got burned in the first matchup. Maybe afraid to bring pressure right down the gut, that they'll get out around them.
3rd and 2. A pitch to Foster. What a play. First down, Carolina. So now they do go outside, and Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator, who's had a tremendous year, calls the play that picks up a huge Carolina first down.
Yeah, and N.D. Kalu, the defensive end, he's going to collapse down on the ball right here, the defensive end. He comes down hard, and there's no linebacker scraping. Nate Wayne trying to get out there in time in order to make the play to keep him from getting the first down. But boy, you start getting overly aggressive, trying to come down the line and tackle Deshaun Foster. Next thing you know, he's out on the edge.
Eagles cannot give up a touchdown here. They have to at least hold to a field goal.
Toss to Davis, running with his bad left quad. He's down to the 32, a gain of 2.
The good thing about the injury that Stephen Davis has is it really only impacts you, and I've had that hip flexor thing before, really only impacts you when you're going full out. And for a guy like Davis, he's much more of a sort of a power, find your hole, lower your shoulder kind of a guy. So I haven't seen it really impact him so much today.
Is there any injury you haven't had?
I've had them all, brother. Anything you want to name.
You've had rib injuries and hip flexors.
Ever tell you about my hamstring?
Tell me a commercial break.
All right.
Well, we're about to have one because Carolina's going to take a timeout. They let it wind down. 11:05 remaining in regulation. You have to say regulation these days in the NFL playoffs. 14-3. Panthers out in front.
So just when I'm thinking, isn't there a car out there I could get excited about? Wham! There's this car with all this stuff. Then as I'm thinking, now here's a car I could see myself in. Wham! There's this other car with all this stuff. 2 cars, the same, yet different. Kind of like those twins I met in Chicago.
The all-new Mazda 3 and Mazda 3 5-door. Rethink what's possible.
This beer has 1/3 less carbs than Coors Light This beer is the gold medal winner of the World Beer Cup. Amazingly, they're the same beer. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
It's Papa John's 20th anniversary. For 20 days only, order any large Papa John's specialty pizza at regular menu price and get a large one-topping Papa John's pizza free. Buy one, get one free.
Toys R Us Times Square uses HP technology to manage inventory and replace every toy sold first thing the next morning. HP. Invent.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. By HP. Discover how HP technology helps make more things more possible. By Sprint. Proudly offering picture mail and PCS Vision picture phones. And by MGM's Barbershop 2. The Barbershop is back in business. Rated PG-13.
14-3 Carolina, 11:05 left. See, Donovan McNabb just needs help to get up off the bench. He's finished. 2nd down and 8. Davis got hit right at the line, got to the 30. And we look back on this game with Carolina coming in off their win in St. Louis. First points, 24-yard touchdown throw to Muhammad. Here's the hit that hurt the ribs of Donovan McNabb by Greg Favors. The hit by Minter, the 3rd interception by Ricky Manning. And then his teammate Deshaun Foster wouldn't quit, kept plowing into the end zone. It's 14-3. 3rd and 6.
Play of the game right here. Really need a stop to keep it to a 2-score game.
Blitz. Davis hit in the backfield. Goes nowhere. Semino came through first as the Eagles finally did bring that blitz, and that brings up 4th down.
As much as an all-out blitz as you will see, Mark Semino going to come right here up through the middle, and the pulling guard is going to get driven right back into the running back and disrupt the play.
Well, and it kept Carolina from having an opportunity to try to kick a field goal. That was the idea. Run the ball, try to pick up a few more yards, if not the 1st down. Now they're forced to punt.
Carolina Panthers did this to Philadelphia in the 1st quarter. Now Philadelphia returns the favor. So the punt from Sauerbrunn. Phenomenal punt. And that ball will be marked down at the 9, even though it looked like it was going out of bounds. It didn't look like Cooper, who was down there, was willing to let it take another bounce.
Interesting to see whether or not the guy that downed the football reestablished himself back into the field of play. Got to have 2 feet inbounds, and I don't think that he did. I think this is going to end up coming back to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it's Jared Cooper, and the shame of it is that he really didn't even have to touch the ball. The ball was running parallel to the goal line. They had a tremendous bounce on the play. Cooper goes into the end zone, comes out, does not have to touch the ball. He does. And now I've got to believe that ball's coming out to the 20-yard line.
You have to get both feet down, just like a receiver on the boundary. You can go in, that's okay, but now you have to get both feet back in before you touch the football. He's on the line there.
Just before that right foot came down, the left foot was down.
And remember, the end line is in the end zone.
It's an illegal touch at about the 8-yard line, right at the 8-yard line. That'll be 1st down, Philadelphia.
So that means on the field, they have called that Gerard Cooper did establish himself back in the field of play. The replay shows differently. We could have a challenge when we come back.
The barbershop is open for business.
Just a little off the top. Oh.
But when the competition moves in, they'll have to fight back.
Double my rent. You don't pay no rent. Well, in that case, triple it.
Ice Cube, Cedric the Entertainer.
What Calvin needs you to do is get up off your fat butt and cut some hair.
Barbershop back in business.
Yeah, you gonna talk about outside when you one Reese's Pieces away from Jenny Craig yourself.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, February 6th.
A change might be all you need to stay in a game. If what you're doing now isn't working, do what I did. Talk to your doctor about Levitra.
Ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Levitra, stay in the game.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest-rated midsize sedan among owners, and 50 international awards. For the speed readers, the Mazda 6. Lease a new 2004 Mazda 6i for $219 a month for 48 months with $25.19 due at lease signing.
It's the American Idol play of the day. Let's get right to the action. Today, rookie number 30218 is going up against Simon, the Killer Cow. Let's go down to the field. He's starting strong. Ooh, could be an off-key foul. Is Cow gonna sack him?
Ghastly. Was it like a scene from The Exorcist?
Ouch! That's gotta hurt. Catch an all-new season of American Idol beginning at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Well, a lot unfolds before us. First of all, Coy Detmer is in at quarterback. Secondly, the Philadelphia Eagles will not spend their final challenge to challenge the ruling on the field in the spot of the football. They've marked it at the 8 instead of taking it at the 20. It is a reviewable play. Gerard Cooper did have to get both feet back into the field of play. It all is a moot point now because a play has been run, and instead of taking it at the 20, the Eagles were content with it at their own 8.
Well, and you kind of wonder why the Eagles chose not to challenge this call, because clearly it would have been ruled in their favor. There's no question that Jared Cooper does not get both feet in the field of play and reestablish himself. They would have had the ball on the 20-yard line.
Essentially a 13-yard non-challenge.
Blitz. Detmer flips it forward to an ineligible receiver. That's Bobby Williams. And a guy who threw only 5 passes during the regular season, Coy Detmer, is the guy in charge of trying to lead this Eagles comeback.
Yeah, ineligible man, Bobby Williams, touching the ball. Obviously can't do that. And then you just got to kind of wonder about Coy Detmer and how much work does he get during the week of practice leading up to a ball game. Typically, the backup quarterback does not get any reps, and he hasn't played basically all season long.
Yeah, but I don't really blame Coy Detmer for throwing it to Bobby Williams the way these other receivers have been playing out here.
Well,
give somebody else a shot. I would too.
He got a little separation, didn't he?
Yeah. You've been sitting over there watching these guys getting beat up all game long.
There are 2 fouls on this play. Hands to the face on top of it with the defense.
Touching number 66 offense. We got illegal hands to the face, 21 defense. Those penalties offset. Second down.
So there's a break for Philadelphia. They get Cousin again.
Yeah, they get him again. They got him earlier in the game. You're right, Joe, against Freddie Mitchell, as we're going to see. Well, I tell you what, I didn't see anything.
Well, at no time can you quote-unquote jam a receiver up to the face. And in the estimation of this officiating crew, that crossed the line. So instead of a long 3rd down, it's 2nd down again for Philadelphia. And they run it with Buckhalter. And Buckhalter has a Philadelphia 1st down.
But now a minute later and the clock's still running, they're back to where they would have been had they challenged the play.
Well, that, and they've got to be careful. They cannot continually run the football. That's what I say. These wide receivers, they've got to step up. One of them has got to be able to make a play. Coy Detmer's going to have to find one of them, but they are going to run out of time if they think they're going to be able to drive this ball twice running the football.
Detmer fires and the pass caught by Mitchell. 1st down Philadelphia out to the 32.
And that's probably the guy they should be working more. I mean, they're going to their cover 2 man, so the corners are getting safety help on the outside. Terry Cousin is locked up one-on-one with Freddie Mitchell, and Freddie Mitchell's been one of the few guys for this offense that's been able to make plays.
A little hurry-up approach by Philadelphia. Staley with a penalty flag coming in at the end of the play, gets it up to the 35. The Eagles indicate it's against Carolina. Ooh. Face mask, and it's the personal foul variety, 15 yards.
Personal foul, grabbing and pulling on the face mask. 30 of the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
That takes it all the way up to midfield.
Good call, too, by the officials. And, Troy, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles need to get some different guys in this ball game. I would put James Thrash on the bench. He's not very good against bump and run. Maybe get Greg Lewis in the game. Maybe even a Reno Mahe, a very quick wide receiver type. Let him try and make some plays against
Another blitz, and Pinkston was looking for it late. A penalty flag comes in, covered by Howard. This could go either way, and it's against Philadelphia. Pinkston did not get his head around.
And that's a good call, too, Joe. You're going to see, again, locked up, one-on-one, Reggie Howard. And Reggie Howard has a chance to come down with this ball on an interception. Todd Pinkston really did about all he could do to try to break up what would have been an interception.
Certainly wasn't a ton of contact, and while Howard popped up shocked there was a flag, thinking it might be on him, Pinkston didn't do a whole lot to warrant offensive pass interference.
Well, how much confidence does John Fox and Mike Turkovac have in these defensive backs, in that here they are with 7.5 minutes in the game, up 14-3, and they're still locking up one-on-one on the outside.
Handoff is to Staley, doing all he can, but now second down and long after a gain of 4, and this crowd saying, let's go.
And they're right. But, you know, for the Carolina Panthers defensively, think about it. In the playoffs, they shut down the Dallas Cowboys receivers, and they have 3 good players. Then they go in against the St. Louis Rams and do a good job there. Compared to those 2 teams, the receivers on the Eagles are not even in the same ballpark.
Second down and 16. Detmer looking right, fires. Thrash cannot adjust to it. And who's on him? Ricky Manning, who has had an all-world night.
They tried throwing the fade stop on the back shoulder of James Thrash because they cannot get down the field on these guys. Ricky Manning, again, locking up over the top. Hoy Detmer trying to throw it on his back shoulder. And you can just see the confidence that these guys are playing with. Ricky Manning having an outstanding game today.
And what do they say? It ain't bragging if you back it up. And Ricky Manning said that these Eagles receivers were no match for him, and he has been absolutely right.
Third down and 16. 2 for 10 on third down tonight of the Eagles. Detmer needs a big throw. Guides it. Pass is caught. Lewis wrestled down shy of a first down, but it certainly makes the decision a lot easier to go for it on 4th down. The ball is inside Carolina territory. At the 42, they need 2 yards.
Yeah, there's no decision to be made here. They're going for it.
I think they're going to burn one of their timeouts, though. I don't know about that either.
2 timeouts remaining. 4th down and 2 for the Eagles when we come back.
There's a feeling in my heart that I can't explain. Is this love? This look in your eyes I just can't explain. Is this love? If I lose myself after pain, so tomorrow will you feel the same? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love?
Yo, Pete! Check it out, man. I'm so ready for the game. Chips, dips, this sub's bigger than your head. You ready for the game?
Yeah, you could say that.
Get ready for the game at Gateway. Our plasma is the #1 selling in the country because of people who have more brains than money. They start at under $2,500 after purchase of wall mount kit and mail-in rebate. Get into Gateway now for 0% financing on select plasmas.
With its available power stroke diesel and 5-speed automatic torque shift transmission, the Ford F-Series Super Duty has the most torque and horsepower of any diesel pickup. Ford F-Series Super Duty. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
The
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by the next Ford F-150, 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
They've been talking all week around here about a 4th and 26 a week ago against the Green Bay Packers. It's 4th down and 2. And Coy Detmer is the guy trying to help these Eagles pick up a fresh set of downs as they trail by 11. Detmer fires wide open as Lewis, the tight end. Chad Lewis, a leap out of bounds with a first down at the 18.
Looked like the Eagles were trying to create a pick situation over on the outside for Chad Lewis. They were with the bunch formation at the top. Lewis going in motion and then jumping back to the outside, and maybe even his guy blitz. It looked like Dan Morgan coming on the blitz may have been responsible for covering on the outside.
There's no question one of the two linebackers that came was responsible for Chad Lewis. Again, they're under the impression that Chad Lewis is going to stay in and block.
First down, Philadelphia. Detmer dumps it off incomplete. Cousin. Terry Cousin, the player, got his hands on it. So far, when the Eagles have the ball, the leading receiver has been Ricky Manning. He has 3 receptions, interceptions for Carolina. Staley has 3 and Mitchell has 3. That's it. Nobody has stepped up in the receiving corps for the Eagles.
Well, and the big thing right now, because of that 4th down conversion, the Eagles have gotten themselves in field goal range. So if nothing else on this drive, if they're able to make it 14-6, it then becomes a 1-possession game.
Greg Lewis is in the game. Detmer fires. Pass is complete. Mitchell wasn't touched, so he gets up and gets a couple extra yards, and more importantly, gets out of bounds.
Boy, we've just seen so many games with the Philadelphia Eagles where you think it's over, you think it's done, and it's not. And they come with a corner blitz there. Nice read that time by Coy Detmer to be able to get up and get that play out of bounds.
Third down. Detmer over the middle, intercepted. Another interception for this Carolina defense, and the guy who has been working so hard in the middle, Dan Morgan, comes away with it. He did not have one the entire season. And with 5:16 remaining, the Carolina Panthers take over and may ride to Houston for the Super Bowl because of this.
Well, Shane Burton gets pressure on Donovan McNabb, and he tries forcing it in there, and Dan Morgan right there to make the interception.
12 tackles and a pick for Dan Morgan.
Ford Expedition, the first to introduce all of the firsts. First-in-class safety canopy system, first-in-class independent rear suspension, first in its class for cargo room. And Ford Expedition is the first and only full-size SUV with the powerful third-row seat. Ford Expedition, the full-size SUV that's full of firsts. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Low-carb diet, huh?
We were on this low-carb diet together.
You're the cheater. I saw you at Subway ordering a sandwich.
It's okay. It's a new Atkins carb-controlled wrap.
Introducing the new Atkins-friendly chicken bacon ranch and turkey and bacon melt wraps. 2 great new tastes from Subway with under 11 net carbs.
You ate the kids' art project.
Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
Cheryl acts like she doesn't even know that Alan likes her. But Veronica said Cheryl was flirting with him, and I completely understand and know where Veronica's coming from.
Well, her night minutes don't start until 9, so she talks to us for another...
Oh. Guess what? A few weeks ago, rumors going around that I like Tim, and everybody was
Here.
like, yeah, right.
With Sprint, unlimited night minutes start at 7 instead of 9. And they're the ones who built their network from the ground up, and they build it right.
2 more hours? How'd you guys do it?
We just turned back time.
Now with Sprint, on any new service plan, you can get 2 more hours of weeknight calling.
4 turnovers by Philadelphia. 3 interceptions by Manning and 1 by Morgan, who has just been flat out worn out in the middle. 12 tackles, an interception. And he hands the ball back to his offense. And Jake Delhomme. Toss to Davis. And Davis, a terrific move by just basically laying down and staying inbounds.
Remember, the situation was 3rd and 3, and Deuce Staley, instead of hooking this up right in front of Dan Morgan, decides to ad-lib a route just like Todd Pinkston did earlier in the game, and it's going to cost another Eagles quarterback another interception. I don't know what these Eagles receivers are doing out here today, but they are really screwing up this game.
Now it comes down to this Eagles defense. Clearly they know what they're going to get. They're going to get a heavy dose of run and only run as Carolina tries to milk this clock down.
Davis stays in there, 1,400 yards during the regular season. More sure-handed with a football. A gain of 2, and the Eagles have to spend their second timeout. They trail by 11. Fox tomorrow, the phenomenon that changed music and television forever, returns for its 3rd season. Be there when American Idol takes the first look at some of the very best and some of the very worst. American Idol, an all-new season beginning tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on Fox.
I'll tell you what this game reminds me of is when the New England Patriots played the St. Louis Rams in the Super Bowl. They went out and they got incredibly physical with the wide receivers, beat them up at the line of scrimmage. When they had an opportunity, delivered a knockout blow down the field with a big hit, and it just seemed to intimidate the Rams a little bit. Of course, they did come back late in that game, got a few things going, but the physical presence of these cornerbacks and safeties of the Carolina Panthers and this much maligned secondary clearly has been the difference in this game.
2nd down and 8. Toss to Davis. And the Eagles spend their final timeout. 3rd down coming up for Carolina. You look at the combination of Peyton Manning and Ricky Manning. Peyton threw 4 interceptions for that terrific New England defense. 24-14 victory, and Ricky 3 interceptions tonight after setting up the game drive with an interception at the end of the first overtime last week in St. Louis. We know that the New England Patriots are in the Super Bowl again. They took a year off, but they're back. Belichick looked ticked. What a job he has done with that defense, with that entire team, and Tom Brady still probably doesn't get the credit he deserves as a top-flight quarterback is back in the Super Bowl in Houston in 2 weeks.
Well, he'll get all the credit he deserves. He goes out and he wins another Super Bowl this year, and another guy that's going to get a lot of credit as well, finally, is Jake Delhomme. They go on to win this ball game, and every week it seems like people want to put the pressure on him and want to wait and see if he's going to deliver. And for the most part, each and every week he has.
3rd down and 6. The Eagles desperately need a stop. Out of timeouts. Davis. The Eagles force a punt. Jake Delhomme told us early in the season, I'm sure no defensive coordinator has ever come into a game with us and said we need to stop 17. That's Jake Delhomme's number. That may change because this guy in the passing game is a lot better than it gets credit for with Carolina.
Well, Jim Johnson did come into this game and say, he didn't say we need to stop Jake Delhomme, but what he did say is we need to stop Steve Smith. So he clearly recognized what these Carolina Panthers had been able to do over recent weeks throwing the football.
Lito Shepard is waiting for this punt from Sauerbrunn. A line drive punt. Shepard on the move back from the 10. Eagles need a good one. Another fumble. Philadelphia back on top of it. Quentin Michael was there to fall on top. And the Eagles will have it inside their own 20, needing 2 scores, no timeouts, and under 3.5 minutes to play.
You know, to follow up on what you were talking about, Chris, about these defensive backs, and you know, they were so maligned throughout the season and that they couldn't hold up their end. There was so much talk about the front 7 and them being the strength of this defense, and you look over the last 6-7 ball games where this secondary has come, and the job that they have done, there's no question, particularly today, that they are the reason that they've been able to win this football game, assuming they go on to do that as much as this front seven for this defense.
Detmer has time down the middle behind Freddie Mitchell. You think about the secondary guys. Terry Cousin released twice, waived once. Reggie Howard was released once, waived once. But they had that difference maker, the rookie Manning, slip into the starting lineup. And that group as a whole, with a very good safety combination, especially with Minter, has been outstanding.
Well, their safety combination, you're right. They've been strong all season long, and it was just a matter of those corners starting to develop and mature, and they've done that, and John Fox showed confidence in them again in this game.
Detmer off his back foot, throws, and the pass dropped. Pinkston again, and now a penalty flag comes in very late. It'll be a hold, so an automatic first down and 5-yard penalty.
And I guarantee you somebody on the Eagles side is saying, finally, these guys have been mauling us all day long. We finally do get a call, but this is the playoffs, and that's the way it's going to be called.
24 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Would have been the 6th drop of this game by the Eagle receivers.
I guess.
So a first down, but the ball is at the 24-yard line. And only 3:15 on the clock. Corey Detmer to Staley. More physical play from this Carolina defense. It'll be second down.
And there's probably people at home wondering why they're doing play action. There's no question they're not going to run the football here, but that gives them the best protection. And even having said that, Corey Detmer has still got people in his face.
Over the middle again. Wide open is Lewis, and he's down inside the 45.
You know, it's so amazing that that was where they thought they could take advantage of this Carolina defense, over the middle of the ball, working against the linebackers, and they just never did it this entire ball game. Maybe they'll try and focus there now.
2.5 to play. Blitz. Detmer's hit as he let it go, and Pinkston, with the umpire in his way, drops it.
Now Pinkston's going to blame the umpire.
You know, well, got to blame somebody, I guess. I mean, Coy Detmer is back here again. They bring pressure and expose these defensive backs, and Coy does a great job of just getting the ball out. It's blocked, apparently. Todd Pinkston can't see the ball coming because he's running behind the umpire there. Boy, everything that can go wrong for this Eagles team so far has gone wrong.
So there is drop number 6. Second down and 10, 2:23 to go. Blitz again. The Panthers are not laying back, and they get another sack at midfield. They keep coming, and they keep getting home. A loss of 8 and the 5th sack of the night.
Joe, this is really amazing what John Fox and Mike Turkovac, the defensive coordinator, are doing. You're going to see the safety here coming all the way up on the blitz, and they're just bringing everybody. They're not worried about the Eagles hitting anybody down the field. They're not playing conservative. They've stuck to their game plan the entire day.
This could be the final play before the 2-minute warning, and it's an incompletion. Crowd wants a flag, so do the Eagles, and they won't get it. 2:04 remaining, and it's 4th down and 18.
And I think Freddie Mitchell's a little bit hurt, but what we're seeing now is whether it's a wide receiver working against a safety or what, these guys can't get open. There was as much open space in the middle of the field that time for Freddie Mitchell to work, and he is a wide receiver working against a safety, Deion Grant, and they still can't get open. So it's not just the corners that are blanketing these guys.
No team has ever lost home back-to-back conference championship games. The Eagles in danger. Here's another blitz. They're still coming. Pinkston. A leap, incomplete. There are no penalty flags, and the Carolina Panthers will take over, and they are going to be headed to Super Bowl 38.
They'll just be able to take a knee and run this clock out, and it's absolutely amazing to me that down after down, you know what Carolina's going to bring, and Philadelphia couldn't block them up, and they couldn't get the ball to a receiver.
2-minute warning in Philadelphia. It's 14-3, Carolina.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by the next Ford F-150, 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
With its available power stroke diesel and 5-speed automatic torque shift transmission, the Ford F-Series Super Duty has the most torque and horsepower of any diesel pickup. Ford F-Series Super Duty. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Introducing Visa Extras for small business. It's kind of like finding free stuff at work. Enroll now, and when you use your Visa business card, qualifying purchases earn points for everything from office supplies to travel. Even select NFL tickets. Sign up at visa.com/Visa Extras.
Are you ready? Now that's the funk, strike the funk, tweak the funk, hype the funk, and all that junk.
Y'all ready?
What channel? What station?
How about that?
Sam Mills, it's got to be an emotional time over on that sideline. We talked about it earlier. Diagnosed with cancer in the small intestine in August. Linebackers coach. Was there late in his career, made his name with New Orleans. A classy guy, and he has persevered this season. He and Mark Fields diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease in August. The honorary captains, and Andy Reid knows this feeling all too well. It's 14-3 Carolina. Philadelphia without any timeouts remaining. And it appears that John Fox, in his time as defensive coordinator for the New York Giants and head coach with the Carolina Panthers, will up his record, guys, to 10-3, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles.
And you know, I'm sure New England's going to be favored in the Super Bowl, but think about what the Carolina Panthers have done now. They've scored 29 points against the #1 defense in football, the Dallas Cowboys. They go in and knock off the St. Louis Rams, who had won 14 in a row at home. And then they come in here and easily, physically manhandle the Philadelphia Eagles team in this stadium in the NFC Championship game. And they do it almost casually.
And how about Jake Delhomme? Jake Delhomme coming into this game when he was talking about the other quarterbacks, Donovan McNabb, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, all in the championship game. They asked him about it. He says, I'm the other guy. I want to get to where they're at. Well, tonight there's 30 starting quarterbacks sitting at home wanting to get to where Jake Delhomme's at, and that's Super Bowl 38.
The Carolina Panthers will be able to take their name off the list of NFC teams who never made it to the Super Bowl. Arizona, Detroit, New Orleans, Seattle. Carolina was on that list. They are on that list no more. And Chris, you mentioned it. We've learned from Danny Sheridan of USA Today that the Patriots will open as a 7-point favorite in the Super Bowl as they await their date in Houston with the Carolina Panthers.
I don't think that concerns the Carolina Panthers too much. They've been underdogs since day one, since they were down 17-0 on opening day against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just doesn't make any difference to these guys.
So John Fox and the Panthers come in to Philadelphia, and with Jake Delhomme calling the signals, handing off to Foster and Stephen Davis with his efforts, the efforts of this defense. The Panthers are going to the Super Bowl, and let's go down to Pam Oliver.
They sure are going to the Super Bowl, Joe, and a large reason for it. Number 17 here, Jake Delhomme. What's up with that? You guys are going to the Super Bowl in Houston. You must be thrilled.
Yes, we are. You know, we played together as a team tonight. Defense played lights out. Offensively, we did a great job. The offensive line deserves all the credit in the world. I didn't get touched, but maybe once tonight. Steve and Deshaun, all the guys ran hard. It's a huge team win, and that's what this is about. You know, the Patriots are going. They're a great team. And we think we're a good team. You know, it'll be a tough matchup.
what are you thinking as you head into the Super Bowl? Your rags to riches story. The guys were retelling the story about being behind Kurt Warner and saying, Dad, I don't know if this, if I can overtake this guy, but you did more than that. You took a hold of this team and you're taking him to Houston.
Well, it's nice that we're going. I would love to do what Kurt Warner has done, and that's to win one. That's the next goal. It's easier said than done. I'm going to try not to think about the Patriots tonight so I can at least get some sleep. I don't want to worry about that defense just yet, but this is just great. We're going to enjoy this. This is unbelievable.
You're going to need every soundbite you got in you for the Super Bowl, by the way. Let's go back upstairs to Joe.
Only 2 starts in his career coming into this season. Congratulations to Jerry Richardson and the Carolina Panthers. Jake Delhomme from Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, the Cajun, not only played well. He and the Panthers are going to the Super Bowl. Much more coming up after this break.
With its available power stroke diesel and 5-speed automatic torque shift transmission, the Ford F-Series Super Duty has the most torque and horsepower of any diesel pickup. Ford F-Series Super Duty. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
When the stakes are high, the great ones answer the call. Like a November wind, you cut through the unforgiving wasteland of company data and emerged with numbers that were once untouchable. You have the new Microsoft Office system. It's showtime.
Plumber Andy Harrison had the perfect life.
I think I'm finally ready.
Ready to
get the new truck.
Do not false alarm.
Until the ex-president moved in.
Mr. President, be our mayor. I think you should do it.
Now,
Did you just get asked out by the president guy?
Yes, I think I did.
is this town small enough
I'm running for the mayor of Mooseport.
for the both of them?
Are you telling me that I'm running for mayor against the man installing my toilets?
What just happened?
You're running against the president.
And your girlfriend's dating him. Let's bury this guy. Time to take your gloves off.
Not afraid of you. I can't feel my feet.
On February 20th.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, time, go again. I had dignity once. Does anybody remember that?
Private meeting with the president.
Welcome to Mooseport.
Mayor, no mayor, you're still going to get the same great service. I'm all done in here. That flushing you heard, that's work-related, not personal.
Rated PG-13. Starts February 20th.
Introducing Subway's new Atkins-friendly wraps, like the savory chicken bacon ranch wrap and the turkey and bacon melt wrap. Packed with all the delicious taste you'd expect from Subway, but with under 11 net carbs. They'll help you satisfy your low-carb goals. As for your other goals, like avoiding your in-laws indefinitely, well, there you're on your own. The new Atkins-friendly wraps from Subway. Good, so you don't always have to be.
NASCAR on Fox.
The 7-passenger, electronic 4-wheel drive Acura MDX. Power and safety, living in perfect harmony.
Introducing the Motorola V600.
Great.
With Bluetooth wireless headset. It has a high-resolution integrated camera, so you can take photos and send them with perfect clarity.
Got it.
The Motorola V600 for crisp, clear pictures you can take, send, and of course, delete. To register, go to Motorola.com/offers.
Get a special preview of American Idol with Paula Abdul next on air with Ryan Seacrest.
Tomorrow at 4 on Fox 26.
Donovan McNabb with the rib injury. Just reduced to hugs, and again wishing a team good luck as they will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, the Carolina Panthers. Our leaderboard is brought to you by UPS. UPS, what Brown can do for you. Jake Delhomme had to only throw it 14 times. Stephen Davis, bad leg and all, had 75 yards. Sin Muhammad, the touchdown catch early to put Carolina on top, and they never relinquished the lead. Our Wachovia presents tonight's Uncommon Perspective. This effort by Deshaun Foster. Looked like 3 different times he would be stopped shy of the end zone. He kept fighting. He got it in. This Uncommon Perspective brought to you by Wachovia. Together we can achieve uncommon results. Along with our producer Richie Zions, our director Artie Kempner, we welcome you back to our booth here in Philadelphia. And guys, I know it doesn't shock anybody that Carolina came out and played the way they did, but it is surprising that the Philadelphia Eagles came out and offensively played the kind of game they played here tonight. Well, there's no question that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to go in and they're going to look at this game and think about it, and they're going to think about all the turnovers and the missed opportunities. But you certainly have to give credit to Carolina and the job that they did defensively in creating that. And you just got to wonder, when is Jake Delhomme going to finally accept some credit for the job that he's done for this team?
He's been terrific. But if this one had been a fight, they would have stopped it in about the 3rd quarter, because it clearly was one of those no moss situations. They brought the fight all day long to the Philadelphia Eagles, physically beat them up, and that was the difference in the game. Our thanks to Steve Horn and Dave Schwabe and Ed Speed up here in the booth. We have so many people to thank as we will step aside. The Carolina Panthers end up on top. They will represent the NFC in Houston in Super Bowl 38. From all of us, we send it down to the field. And the guys, JB, it's all yours.
Welcome to the Subway postgame show, brought to you by Subway. Good so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh.
All right, Joe Buck, so the Carolina Panthers have just completed the biggest 2-year turnaround in the Super Bowl era. We all have heard it. 2 years ago, they were 1-15. John Fox and staff have done just a remarkable job. And as I turn to my colleagues, Jimmy, we talked about not only Carolina controlling the line of scrimmage, but that much maligned secondary of theirs did a job.
JB, I thought John Fox did a great job of changes in his secondary in this game a little bit more, in that they played more man coverage. Their defensive backs played man coverage, tight coverage. They harassed the receivers all day long, all night long. And then the receivers started getting frustrated at the end, had a lot of drops.
Well, and then you talk about how this Carolina team was built. You know, Julius Peppers, the obvious choice and the #1 pick for the Carolina Panthers. But you talk about Ricky Manning, guy who made probably the biggest play in the St. Louis game. Everybody talks about the Smith reception for the touchdown in the 2nd overtime, but when you talk about Ricky Manning, the interception he had in St. Louis and 3 today, 3rd-round pick for the Carolina Panthers.
And nobody really surprised to see Carolina come out and do the job here today.
Well, I don't think so. I think we talked about it prior to the game, a team that physically matched up well with Philadelphia.
All right, so Carolina is heading to its first ever Super Bowl, and standing by with the Carolina Panthers in their locker room, always doing the honors for us here at Fox, is our own Terry Bradshaw with the Super Bowl bound Carolina Panthers.
All right, JB, thank you very much. And a pretty excited locker room, as you can well imagine. Let me present to our audience here former NFL great defensive end for the Minnesota Vikings, the Purple People Eaters, representing the NFL and presenting the George S. Halas Trophy, symbolic of the conference champion Carolina Panthers going down to Super Bowl 38. Jim, here's the George S. Halas Trophy. There's Mr. Richardson, our owner.
All right. Jerry, Rosalind, congratulations, not just on a wonderful victory tonight, but just a tremendous season. And on behalf of the Halas family and the National Football League Conference, I would love to present you with the George Halas Trophy.
Thank you.
And great.
Thank you, Jim. Let me slip in here. Of course, I think all great men will acknowledge the fact that they do have a great woman behind them. It makes them special. 47 years of marriage, your lovely wife, Rosalind. Congratulations, darling.
Thank you so much, Terry. We're so happy we're going to the Super Bowl.
And for all our Yankee friends, that Super Bowl, she's happy, I'm happy. Owner, you want here, you may take that. Is that heavy? Here, pass that over to Coach Fox. There you are. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been 9 years.
Yes.
And success came early to this Carolina Panther team. We hosted you up in Green Bay for a championship. 7 years later, here we are again. Your feelings about this football team, and you got to be a little bit shocked that the season starts and the season ends, and here you are going to Houston.
Well, actually, I'm not shocked. But at any rate, I want to thank John Fox and the coaching staff and a wonderful, wonderful group of players, and I'm thrilled for it. And all of the people back in the Carolinas, and particularly in Charlotte, you've shown our players a lot of love this week, and I hope you'll do it for a couple of more weeks.
My colleague Howie Long likes to call Carolina the NASCAR South, that division that you're in. And now maybe this victory today, and the Carolina Panthers certainly have got a lot of new friends in Charlotte. Jared, do you believe this is going to move you even further, this franchise, even further in the love and respect in the National Football League, especially in Charlotte?
Well, we get plenty of love, so we're not
enough, though.
Yeah, we do. We get a lot of love, and I'm grateful for it, and they'll keep giving it to us.
And one other, about 14 years ago, you and I spoke for your company, and you asked me afterwards, would you go to a ride to the top of the mountain with me? And I said, let's go. I didn't know what you wanted. And your question to me in the car that night as we sat there was, how can I get a franchise from the National Football League to come down to Charlotte? That's been quite a ride, and that mountaintop was pretty big then. This one, Jerry, this one's not over, and that mountain could be really cool after this.
Well, thank you very much. It's interesting and ironic that we'd be playing the New England Patriots because Bob Kraft and the Kraft family have been great friends of ours, and it'll be a fun couple of weeks.
Good luck in Super Bowl 38 in Houston. I'm going to send it back to JB, then we'll come back to this locker room. JB?
All right, Terry, thank you so very much. And it's interesting that Jerry Richardson was talking about the kind of love that his team has gotten in Carolina. You've been there a number of times already. I think they're pretty much beloved down there.
Well, I think they are. It's an interesting part of the country. It's famous for its basketball, obviously, with the North Carolina Tar Heels. They had a pro basketball team down there that moved out of town. This is a team that had an immediate success early on in their inaugural 3 or 4 years. They struggled for a period of time, both on the football field and off the football field, and they've done a great job coming back both in terms of the community and in the football field.
And Howie has always talked about the makeover of that squad, and the makeover is complete. They're heading to Super Bowl 38. Let's take it back to the locker room and Terry Bradshaw.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, JB, here with winning coach John Fox. Coach Fox, only 2 years now. I mean, this is pretty amazing. The job that your defensive man, the job your defense did on Donovan McNabb today, pretty doggone special. What was your thinking going in this game?
Well, Donovan McNabb's a great player. He's carried their football team to a great, fantastic season, and he's really the heart and soul of that football team. And so we told our team he was going to be the guy we were going to have to isolate on. And, you know, we've got some great young players. Our coaching staff defensively did a great job, and, you know, it was just a job well done against a great football player.
Now, how in the world do you go on the road now, double overtime in St. Louis, at home against the Cowboys, now here in Philadelphia, a team that now has lost 3 straight division championship games? What did you say to this football team to keep them relaxed, poised, and confident that they could come on the road again and beat Philadelphia?
Well, I think it started last week, you know, to go into St. Louis, and the team has not lost there in 14 straight games, never lost a playoff game there. And, you know, we've got a real big bunch of strong-willed guys that, you know, they're not going to be denied. They keep swinging their sword, they don't lay it down, and they finish. So we've got a very tough-minded, tough group of guys.
You got a tough game coming up. New England be a good opponent for you.
Oh, there's no question. But we're happy to be there.
Good luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
Stephen Davis, how you feeling? Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you
the
very
leg.
much.
And everybody didn't know whether or not you'd be able to play in this football game, but today you and Deshaun combined 80, 70, and 80 yards rushing together. How did the leg feel, and why were you able to run so well on this team, which so many teams have done?
Well, first of all, the trainers did a great job, and our running back coach Skip, he did a great job before us getting prepared, and he told us how we was going to play. Sean was going to play more regular. I was going to do it more two tights and what we call Detroit. And it was great. Everybody came ready to play, and we came in the hostile environment, and we got the victory.
Y'all did for that. Now, let me ask you this. How effective were you? Were you 90%? Was there a lot of pain? Was there anything you had to do?
It was hurting. It was hurting, but, you know, like it shows on this team how much character, how much heart and desire we got on this team. And it showed with Deshaun's run, his touchdown run. You know, everybody has that in them on this team.
Good luck. Congratulations. Thanks, Stephen. Let me move over here now to the young'un. Here, move your hat back. Let everybody see how pretty you are. Ricky Manning, you know, it looks like we had the best Manning today. Three interceptions. Ty Law had 3 for New England. You had 3 today. Kind of tell us, when you got up this morning, certainly you didn't say, I'm going to go out here in Philadelphia and pick off 3 passes.
No, I didn't say that. You know, I was hoping to get at least 1, though. I mean, I came out there expecting to win, and that's how I always come to every game, expecting to win, expecting to do my job. And the key word was attack. You know, we was attacking all day. I was attacking on the edges. You know, the secondary was just attacking their receivers. And it worked. It worked to perfection.
It seemed to me like they had people that got open, Ricky, but once the ball got there, you stripped them of the football.
They maybe had some people open once in a while, but you know, on the left side and our right side on the edges, they was on the sideline a lot of the game.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to have more interviews from the locker room. Carolina Panthers heading down to Super Bowl 38. That coming up next.
All right, TV, John Fox, you know what, he may not be the kind of engaging guy that the national press has taken to, but that's all going to change now. In the football community, as Jimmy and Howie were saying, he's well-known, well-liked, and manages his squad extremely well. Hey, folks, a lot of excitement here in Philadelphia. The excitement continues tomorrow night right here on Fox.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest with a big shout-out to the NFC champions. Way to go, Carolina Panthers. Now, today's contest, well, that's over. But tomorrow night, a whole new competition is about to begin.
America, put your hands together for the next American Idol.
Where went to pillow, where his head used to lay.
Well, maybe not.
Okay, I can't stand this anymore.
That was bloody awful. I mean, almost like a language I've never heard on earth.
It's back. American Idol. The new season begins tomorrow at 8 on Fox.
And as you can tell from that promo, a lot more excitement still coming your way tomorrow on Fox. Simon and company as we present American Idol coming to you. All right, folks, again, we will continue with the excitement here in Philadelphia. Yes, there was a winner, the Carolina Panthers. There was a loser as well. We'll hear from Coach Andy Reid of the Philadelphia Eagles after this.
With its available Power Stroke diesel and 5-speed automatic torque shift transmission, the Ford F-Series Super Duty has the most torque and horsepower of any diesel pickup. Ford F-Series Super Duty. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Cialis is here. Are you ready? Introducing Cialis. Ask your doctor if a free sample of Cialis is right for you. New Cialis. Cialis is here. Are you ready?
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, sweetheart. I miss you.
I miss you too.
What did you do today?
I played soccer.
For your most important calls, reach out on the wireless service America trusts. AT&T Wireless.
Panthers fans, your team just won the NFC Championship game. And now, direct from the NFL shop, you can own the Panthers Championship tee and cap. The official championship cap and t-shirt worn by players and coaches during the post-game celebration. Call 1-877-NFL-SHOP and own a piece of Panthers history. Get the official hat and t-shirt for only $44.98. Call 1-877-NFL-SHOP or go to superbowl.com now.
NASCAR on Fox.
So you think Parcells is going to take him to the playoffs?
Yeah, Parcells is going to take him to the playoffs in 2008.
We're going 13-3. Worst case scenario, 12-4.
Tom Brady, he's not that good a quarterback. The road to the Super Bowl is coming through Cleveland, baby.
Buccaneers stay healthy, they'll run the table. I'm going to go get a taco.
All right, 11-5 if Shockey gets hit by a bus.
The Subway postgame show is brought to you by Subway. Good so you don't always have to be. Subway Eat Fresh. And by the next Ford F-150 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
All right, welcome back to the Carolina Panther locker room. I'm standing alongside Deshaun Foster. The last 2 weeks, especially with Stephen going down with his thigh injury, you've really come on and played. Well, you've played well all year, but coming into this football game, when did you find out you would be sharing the load, and as opposed to maybe just playing the whole game yourself?
After I saw Stephen warm up, I knew it was going to be me and him out there, and he's not going to miss his game. NFC Championship, he's got to get out there and help. So
here we're looking at your touchdown run. Describe this play, exactly what happened. Inside, bouncing outside.
You know, it was a toss it outside. Hoove cut down the blocker, and I just wanted to get in the zone. You just got to have the determination to get in there.
Yeah, here we are again looking at slow motion pick. One hit. There comes 2 hits. Now here comes 3. I'm standing right there. Watch. There's 4. And I thought you were going out right here to shot 5. And you're in there. The ball breaks the plane. Nice effort. Your thoughts now going against New England? I haven't asked anyone in this locker room about the Patriots because I know we're going to get the same answer. But your thoughts on playing them?
We're playing against another good team. You know, it's going to be a good team. We just got to get out there. They've been in the Super Bowl before. We just got to get out there and play hard and go from there.
Good luck to you.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right. One of the inspirations now, JB, Sam Mills, linebacker, diagnosed with cancer this year. And Sam, you've been an inspiration to this football team all year long. You're still coaching the linebackers. How do you separate, you personally, your condition and the fact that you have so many people looking up to you and you're coaching, and at the same time trying to get them to listen to you and not actually feel sorry for you? Because I know that's not what you want.
No, not at all. But, you know, first of all, though, you know, you say I'm an inspiration to them, but they're really an inspiration to me. When I see these guys go out and battle so hard and play so hard week in and week out, believe me, it's an inspiration to me to fight and do what I have to do as far as holding on to life and things like that. So they're a big inspiration to me.
When did you feel like, because I don't think America really gave Carolina a chance to even get in the playoffs, let alone get this far, now going to the Super Bowl, but you're on the inside, you're with these players. When did you sense that perhaps this was a special season for this bunch?
Well, I felt that way in training camp. You know, these guys worked hard, and I mean, they go at it day in and day out, and they give you what they got, and that's what you see out there. When you watch this team play on the field, you see everybody giving it everything they have.
Well, we want to just thank you for your courage, the inspiration that you are to millions of us around the world that know about your condition. God bless you.
Thanks.
You're in our prayers. Good luck. Have fun in Houston.
It's great to go to the Super Bowl.
I bet it is. Sam Mills. All right, JB, back to you.
All right, Terry, and Sam Mills has certainly been an inspiration to all of us as well. You know, in talking with Jimmy and Howie, and you will hear from them coming up in just a bit. We were talking about Andy Reid, who without a doubt has done a remarkable job in getting the Philadelphia Eagles to 3 consecutive NFC Championship games, but they've come up short in each one of them. We will certainly hear from Andy Reid to hear his thoughts about what they will do from here, because many have talked about a number of players not being with the squad next year, and we'll get Jimmy and Howie's thoughts as we look ahead to Super Bowl 38.
A truck like this isn't built in a factory.
Like, whoa. The Walmart home entertainment department. It's kind of a nice vacation, a little getaway.
It's all here.
Videos, computer software. I buy a ton of DVDs.
I like music that makes me move. It's gotta hit your soul.
This is definitely the place to go if you're a gamer. Walmart has the new releases. Restocked and reloaded every Tuesday.
You can get more stuff because the prices are lower.
Get it here or online at walmart.com. This is where the magic happens.
Once upon a time, there was a kind, loving family who dreamed that someday their beautiful daughter would find a handsome, refined, successful man, and they would have a perfect wedding.
That is beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah.
And then she brought him home.
You got a hot daughter, man.
My big, fat, obnoxious fiancé. A new reality series coming tomorrow after the premiere of American Idol on Fox.
It was fast. We made it faster. It was smart. We made it smarter. Until it was as close to perfect as it's ever come. And that's saying something. Introducing the new, more powerful ES330 at your Houston area Lexus dealer.
Good night, baby.
Good night, honey.
Sweetie, you want me to be happy, right?
Of course I do.
You know I love your burgers, but just for a change, could you make a chicken monster taco for me? Please? You know, like your beef monster taco, but made with delicious chicken instead.
Consider it done. Honey, you want me to be happy, right?
The Carolina Panthers, an organization in only its 9th year of existence, the 2003 NFC champions, and they are heading to the franchise's first ever appearance in the Super Bowl. It will be Super Bowl 38 in Houston, Texas. And there is Jake Delhomme. Yes, indeed, the man who has certainly played the part of come from behind, cast off, you name it, and he is as happy as can be talking to friends about the fact that they are heading to the Super Bowl. Well, that's the excitement, the penultimate, if you will, of a team that certainly ought to be excited about going to Super Bowl 38. On the other side of the coin, the Philadelphia Eagles, 3 consecutive times to the NFC Championship, but they did not get it done. Let's check in with Andy Reid, a dejected Andy Reid of Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, I mean, there really wasn't a point to right at the end that we didn't feel like we were in it. And this team, again, has overcome things. And last week was a primary example. And, you know, I think everybody kept their head up and fought and competed and all those things. We just, you know, we didn't make it happen.
So that was Andy Reid, head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, who, of course, did not get it done. And you know, Terry Bradshaw has been awfully busy back there in the locker room. Let's see if we can check back with him one more time. Terry's got a lot more to finish up our broadcast here in Philadelphia. TB.
All right, JB, thank you very much. While you're freezing out there as hot as you know what in here with Muhsin Muhammad, 24-yard touchdown reception, got this thing off and going for Carolina. You were telling me before we came on the air, same play that Smith called last week.
Yeah, it was the same play, and we just ran out of a different formation and personnel group, but basically it was the same play. It's been a hot play for us, and we like to go to it in clutch situations.
Now, here it is, right? This is the play, Muhsin. Once again, it was an underthrow. Jake threw it up. It was an underthrow. Safeties looked like they ran past it, and you just went up and got it.
Well, I mean, it was originally a corner route that you break back to the post, and you know, I saw the safety kind of overrun the play and also the corner, so I broke back to the post. It was wide open.
How about these defensive backs for New England? Pretty doggone good. You've got Ricky Manning with 3 interceptions. They have Ty Law with 3.
Hey, I tell you what, I played against Ty Law in college, man. He's a tough competitor. Tyrone Poole used to be, you know, a cornerback for Carolina Panthers. I know all about him. Both of these guys are tremendous athletes and, you know, very smart out there.
Okay, you're going to go to New England. I know right now that you're going to be the underdog. New England's going to be favored. No one seems to give you a lot of respect, even though this team's heading there. Your thoughts?
What's your pick? Let's get your pick right now.
I'm standing next. I'm in the Carolina. Oh, what do you think? Who do you think I'm going to pick?
I don't know. If you pick wrong, you might not make it.
No. I'm going to pick Carolina, man, because I got to go through about 500 people, and you're in the NFC. Of course I'm going to pick you.
All right.
I'm not. All right, thanks, Muhsin. Well, JB, I tell you, this has been an amazing ride for this team. They started their playoffs and hosting the Dallas Cowboys, and they went on double overtime for the St. Louis Rams and took care of that. It's a football team that's kind of like, been overlooked all year long, but John Fox has them playing steady, mistake-free football. And don't be surprised that I just said here on this platform, if in fact at the end of that Super Bowl 38, it's Carolina and Jerry Richardson and John Fox as they carry home that Vince Lombardi trophy.
TV, but you still didn't give a definitive answer. Obviously, Muhsin has been watching the program. He pushed Terry pretty good. You know, Deuce Staley said right before this game that he did not want to see the Eagles become the Buffalo Bills of the playoffs, but in fact they have. Of course, Buffalo went to 4 Super Bowls and didn't do it. 3 consecutive NFC championships, Howie.
Well, I think for the Philadelphia Eagles, it's become very apparent to everyone that watched the game today, Donovan McNabb can't get it done by himself. Although I've agreed with a number of the people that they've let go, I haven't necessarily agreed with the people they've brought in. They have money under the cap next year. I think it's apparent to everyone they need to go out and get some people to take some pressure off of number 5. Too much has been put on this guy. And I just don't think, Jimmy, that they really understand. The cap is one thing. Managing the cap is another thing. They do a great job of that. But to take the next step, they're going to have to really fire the bean counter and move on.
Yeah, they need to get some more playmakers. They need to get, you know, some receivers that can make some plays and, like you say, take the pressure off of McNabb.
Yeah.
So I guess managing the cap is one thing, as Howie said, but getting some players in another thing. Jimmy, take a look ahead to Super Bowl 38.
Well, the Carolina Panthers have been underdogs pretty well most of the year and most of the playoffs, and they'll be underdogs again against New England. Here's how I see it. You know, as far as offense, I think Tom Brady has been so efficient, and it's a game of matchups that, you know, Carolina Panthers matched up very well against Philadelphia. They don't match up well against New England. You know, I look at offense with New England. Defense, they had the top defense in the league. Special teams that give the edge to Carolina. And then the intangibles, and this is a big one. There's so much media attention. There's so many functions going on. You got family there. You got tickets. You got on and on. You know, a lot of times if a team hasn't been there before, they lose their focus for the game. And so New England has been there. They'll be focused. I think the intangibles go to New England. 2 defensive coordinators, head coaches now in the Super Bowl.
Carolina has played the role of underdog quite nicely all season long. We'll see how it plays out in Super Bowl 38 in Houston. Well, folks, in a triumph of team over self, this underrated group of cobbled together NFL castoffs has won the most important game in its franchise's history. The Panthers